Hey everyone, hello and welcome, Tony Bing here. For this test centre video, we'll be having a look at Dr. Doom. Now, he's quite a complex character, the reason being why I've held off doing a video for so long, and we can see that if we look at his actual trees, he's got 11 skills in each tree. They're absolutely jam-packed with skills there. Now, the summon side of things I think has been hit a little bit, but by the fact that you need to put most of the summons onto your actually bar, and it can make his playstyle feel a lot more passive. However, I'm hoping that what they done with Ultron the other day, who was in a bad place summon wise, and they've completely turned him around. They've still got time to do that with Doom as well. The sorcery side of things has changed up a little bit. The melee side of things, it was never really something I actually used too much, so I'm not 100% sure. And then finally we have the tri-build Doom that unfortunately at the moment it's kind of, in respect of its signatures anyway, that part of it's dead because you can only have one signature now, whereas in tri-build Doom you could have all three signatures on your bar. But again, it's early days and hopefully they can maybe bring in a specialisation to restore that for the people that ran that build. But let's look at the first section anyway, which is as Doom commands. So this particular tree is a mix of his melee, tech, and also looks of energy attacks. They're leaving the middle tree for by and large the sorcery side of things. So the first skill we look at is Doom Blast, which is just your basic ranged tech attack, and that will restore magic. We then have the Gauntlet, which is your melee tech attack, crit hit chance plus 10%. And then we have Assured Destruction, critical, and brutal strike damage is 50%. And then we have Doom Burst, which is just your melee energy attack. And then Latverian Blockade, which is your summon there. That's summon one of them. Duration 11.8 seconds. And then we have the Latverian War Drums again, same idea, summon one, 11.8 seconds. And the same idea with Latverian Inferno, which summons a Latverian Cinderbot. And then we're down to Beneath Doom's Boot. So this has got a knockdown as well, 2 seconds. Latverian Air Defense, and this gains a bonus based on your summon ally damage. And then finally we have Crumble Fools, which is another knockdown one, and this is a melee tech attack. So simple enough there, nothing's really changed at all yet. So let's look at As Doom Wills. Now the first skill we look at in this tree, it is Impending Doom, which is just your standard teleport move, and that will restore magic there. And next up we have Pierce the Veil, which is your main range sorcery spender, and that does bonus damage to enemies affected by Unthinkable or Eldritch Reckoning. And then next up we have Declaration of War, and this will summon your 3 Doom bots. Summon duration 17.7 seconds, cooldown 15. And then we have Unthinkable, which is just another ranged area sorcery attack. You can place up to 3 of these. This has actually a very interesting talent, which we'll see in a moment. Next up we have Conjured Barrage, which is your basic range sorcery attack, and that restores magic as well there. And then we have Orb of Doom, which is my favourite skill, as you probably know if you've read my Doom guide. Unfortunately, looking at the talents, it looks like that particular build may be dead in the water, which is a bit of a pity, but I've been saying it myself, it's still early days and things could change, so I've given some feedback on it, but not many other people seem to kind of be bothered by the change that makes Orb of Doom no longer available as a spender. But it's one of these things. I've got lots of other characters to play with anyway, and I'm sure I'll come up with another build. But moving on anyway, we have Channeled Torment next, which is just operating the same as it would. And then we have Worthless Cretin, which again, you've got your critical hit chance, it always deals a critical hit there, and it also directs your Latverian minions to attack a particular target. We then have the Will of Doom, which is your invulnerability, 1.5 seconds, cooldown 20. We then have Eldritch Reckoning, which is a vulnerability applicator. And then finally we have the signature, so it defaults as Technical Tyrant. Once we look at the talents we can change which signature it is. We've got the choice of 3 there. You've got the energy, the tech, or the sorcery one. So let's have a look at talents and traits now. So first up here we'll look at the offensive trait. Now I think it's probably a tooltip error, but this shows on the right rather than the left like all our characters have looked at. So the offensive trait anyway, it's Will of Doom and it's summon ally damage. The archetype is Tactician, giving you bonus damage from both energy and intelligence attributes. For the defensive trait we have Ingenious Defense, so you gain maximum health. The archetype is Tough, giving you a multiplier to defense and deflect, and you also have the 8% damage reduction on melee power. Now for the first line of talents we have You Cannot Hide. So this is a bit different. With this, Pierce the Veil and the Gauntlet gain the following effects. They no longer consume magic. It's interesting, but I never felt with the amount of magic I actually had on live that it was ever necessary. It might fit in with other builds. I don't see the immediate value of it myself. And next up we have You Cannot Run. So Unthinkable now chases targets and deals 25% more damage. This to me is probably the most interesting talent change, and it's pretty basic, which really gives you an indication of how, I don't want to use the word underwhelming, but of how, well, the next word I'm thinking of is disappointing. We'll go with underwhelming, of how underwhelming his talents are at the moment. So if you check this out, it would help if I activated it first, of course. Then we'll cast it once again, and there we go. So that's quite nice. I do like that. Something different anyway. So let's look at the next talent anyway. That's You Cannot Resist. And with this, you and your allies become strengthened for 10 seconds when you hit with a power. And Declaration of War, this skill here, summons 2 Doombot Flyers as well. For the next line we have Unstable Wrath. So Crumble Fools gains the following effects: 100% bonus damage, cooldown goes up by 4 seconds, and there's a power cost reduction of 25% there. That's for 4 seconds. And then next up we have Doom Upon You. So Eldritch Reckoning gains the following effects: it gains the dot, and it also restores 25 magic when you deal mental damage to affected enemies. So that is returning it to the previous values it had on live. And then finally we have Eternal Guardians. So Doombot minions last forever when summoned. Simple enough there. They gain health and damage as well. For talent line number 3 we have Suffer No Fools. So Doomburst gains the following effects: it's 20% vulnerability for tech powers, and Assured Destruction gains the following effects: fire 10 missiles with a single activation. So this is new, I'm sure. I'll show you it here. Again, I need to activate it. It's just before my bedtime here, so I'm getting a bit tired. Let's see. There we go. Simple enough, just a small little change there. Now next up we have Obliteration Protocol. So Channel Torment gains the following effects, and it has the damage, the resistance, and also the cooldown. And what it does as well, and I'm a bit sad that it's tied in with Channel Torment, which is a staple of sorcery builds, it changed Orb of Doom into a charge and cooldown power, which is a real pity, because for me doing that, they've killed off the choice of using either Pierce the Veil or Orb of Doom for a main spender. And also if you could use Orb of Doom as your main spender, it made an area build viable. So it looks like an area build will no longer be viable if you want to run pure sorcery. That's full sorcery. That's a bit disappointing there. Now the last talent we'll look at here is Deploy Doombots. So with this, all 3 mechs are summoned when activating Latvarian Blockade, Inferno or War Drums, and Worthless Cretin gains the following effects. So it's 100% plus damage if power and magic are above 75%. We now on to talent line number 4, which is Sign Supreme. So what this does is resource spending sorcery powers cannot be activated, and you gain 200 power and you regain 4% of max power per second. And then next up we have Magic Supreme. So with this, resource spending tech powers cannot be activated. And then finally we have the kind of tri-build option, which is a man of many talents. So health regen 1% of max health per second, magic restored, power restored, and you also have the regenerate 100% of your health, magic and power when you're defeated, 10-minute cooldown. For the final line we have Fit to Rule, and what this does is it really changes the signatures into what we previously had on live, the 3 options. So you have Technical Tyrant, and what this will do is it gains base damage for physical and energy powers, Alternatively, we have Mystic Domination. We'll click that, see the icon change, and then it then gives us Mystical Master. And finally, we have Doom's Legions, and it changes into Lords of Latveria. So all simple enough. It is only his first iteration. When they done the change on the 2nd of December, he didn't have big changes like some characters like Ultron and Kitty had that really made them a lot better. So fingers crossed his next iteration will bring a bit more variety in, because at the moment quite a few of the traits or the talents even are simply putting things back into his kit that he previously had, which is always disappointing to see, especially when it's Doom. It's unlimited options with Doom, so we should be seeing a lot of really kind of interesting imaginative skills, but that's just not happened at all. But I hope you did enjoy this particular video. If you've got any comments, please leave them below and I'll get back to you. And as usual, if you've got feedback based on this particular build that I've shown off, get on the TC forums and get posting your feedback there as well. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all tomorrow.